Imagine a world where the age-old narratives of feminine and masculine are not just roles we perform, but battles we fight every day, both on personal level and on global stage. But if each gender is also a seed of division, in 2023, a man was jailed for false accusation that ruined his life. The same year, a woman was fired for demanding equal pay. Two sides of the same coin, both victim of the broken system. Welcome to the battleground of feminism and masculinity, where extremists on both sides are drawing the out. Why this war is failing everyone and how we can end it. Today, we are diving deep into the undercurrents of feminism and masculinity to uncover the hidden truths, unexpected challenges, and the potential path towards unity. We are not here to pick a side, but to examine the complexities behind both feminism and traditional masculinity and what happens when two collide. Even confront some of the darkest sides of debate, whether you are a loyal feminist or traditionalist or somewhere in between. The discussion is for you. Two worlds are colliding. In one corner, young women demanding equal pay in the history. In the other, men are dying hierarchies, their confessions weaponed by extremists. This isn't a cultural war, a threat. It's a titanic sink of power, dignity, and what it means to be a human. By the end of this video, you will understand why both sides are terrifying of losing this fight. 47% of women aged 16 to 29 versus 29% of same-age men view toxic masculinity as a helpful terminology. 16% of young men believe feminism has done more harm than good, nearly double young women rate. Oh, only 36% of young men versus 46% of young women think gender equality efforts haven't done for enough. We are witnessing a polarization matching the gender split in political parties, women left, right. Fast forward to today, for instance, the World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Reports shows that despite progress, disparity remains in the political responsibility, economic opportunity, and education. In parallel, studies by American Psychological Association have highlighted that nearly 70% of men feel pressure to norms that discourage seeking help from showing vulnerability. 2014 studies found feminist activity had 8% more masculine digital traits and higher dominance rates than average women. Explain why only 16 to 40% of women self-identify as feminists despite supporting equality. 18 to 24 million monthly viewers of Hustler University. 14-year-old fan interviewed feminists took our future. Paid give us labor. 68% of women report being called too aggressive when negotiating salaries. 1 in 5 men aged over 30 have no close friends. 63% of young men misinterpret toxic masculinity as attacking all men's rights. My 10 years old my daughter was deeming unladylike for crying. Gendered expectation poised both sides. Consider the story of Mark, a father who struggled with expectation to man up even when facing deep personal grief. His unwillingness to seek help led to prolonged isolation and depression. A stark reminder to toxic masculinity can be deadly. Equally, we have Maya, a pioneer in her industry, who credited feminism to her success. Yet Maya also acknowledged a painful side. In fighting for equality, I sometimes see women being uneven against men, and that discard hurt everyone. Let's consider a few voices from the field. A young professional, Sarah, explained, feminism gives me the courage to pursue my dream, but sometimes I feel it isolates those who haven't had same privilege. Meanwhile, John, a recent college graduate, admits I am told to be strong and unemotional, but that made me feel isolated and even depressed at a time. Both stories underline the painful truth definition of gender, whether on the feminist side or in the traditional masculinity, are harming us all. Let's rewind the clock. In the late 80s and the early 90s, women around the world began fighting for the right to vote, educate, and ownership. This was the first wave of feminism, an uprising against a system that half the population to the world. One is not born, but rather become a woman, capturing the idea that gender is socially constructed. By the same time, the concept of masculinity was evolving. Men were expected to be unemotional and unadvisable, and standard that work in time of war and traditional values, but has become problematic in the modern context where emotional intelligence is a key. Both movements frustrated. Radical feminism labeled all men obsessors, men's rights Activists blamed feminism for eroding manhood. The middle ground vanished. 72% of the men feel society devalues traditional masculinity. Hashtag men are trash have 4.2 million views. Hashtag not all men have 2.8 million views. But here's the irony. Both sides want the same thing, dignity. Yet extremists hijack the conversation. Feminism is for everybody. On the other side, masculinity has long been defined by traditional values, strength, stoicism, and expectation to be proved and protected. But what happens when these roles become too rigid? Sexual assaults report was proven false. For masculinity, men's suicide rates are 3 times higher than women's. Yet mental health is still mocked as weakness. Considered Mark, I lost my job after a rumor. No one listened to my side. Considered Bella, I was told to smile more to get promoted. Feminism saved me. Extreme form of both. Feminism and masculinity have their darkest side. On the feminist spectrum, critics have noted that in the modern society, feminists can sometimes focus more on ideological purity. On the other hand, the concept of toxic masculinity, where vulnerability is seen as weakness, had led to public health crisis. The dark truth is that both sides, when pushed to extremes, create environment where anger, resilience, and fear can grow. As we explore these issues, remember, criticizing extreme manifestation does not mean dismissing the entire movement. Instead, it's about acknowledgement that rigid ideology, whether the champion feminist causes or uphold traditional masculinity, can end up being just as damage as the problem they seek to be solved. Behind every movement lies uncomfortable truth. Toxic masculinity isn't just boys will be boys. It's men told to man up until they break. Radical feminism isn't equality, it's women shaping a at home. Both extremes isolate their own allies. 40% of young men feel feminism threatens their identity. 58% of women say hashtag to me made workplace safer. But 33% of fear backlash for spreading up. When you make everyone the villain, you become part of the problem. Families are crumbling. Divorce rates spike when parents see each other as enemies. Boys are falling behind in school, labeled toxic for being energetic. Women in educational institutes feel harassment, but men feel membership to avoid it. 63% of managers avoid one-to-one meetings with female colleagues. Solutions exist if we stop shouting and start listening. Finland schools cut bullying by 50% with gender-neutral programs. Not all men are predators. Not all feminists hate men. Feminism is about choice. Let women choose career or homemaking. Healthy masculinity isn't dominance, it's integrity. Research published in the Journal of Gender Studies suggests that a balanced approach where both traditional feminine and masculinity traits are equal, valued, would lead to a healthier, more inclusive society. But how do we get there? The key lies in dialogue and education. We need to create space where men and women can share their experiences without fear of judgment. Policies must evolve to address mental health issues for all genders, and media should character with depth rather than one-dimensional stereotypes. In school curriculum that teach emotional literature and critical thinking about gender empowerment and the next generation a new path, leaving behind the toxic legacies of the past. The future of gender is not about erasing differences, but about transcending the limitations that have confined us for so long. Imagine a future where compassion, empathy, and strength are not mutually exclusive, where schools teach emotional literature alongside critical thinking, and workplace values expressions for leadership. This isn't about feminism versus masculinity, it's about humanity versus dehumanization. I hope this video has given you the food for thought, whether you agreed, disagreed, or find somewhere in between. The future isn't female versus male, it's brutally uncomfortable human. Let's continue this conversation in the comments below. What changes do you think are needed to move forward to become a balanced future in society? If you enjoy these deep videos, share this video. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and stay open-minded. In closing, remember that this debate isn't a battle with winners and losers. It's a call to all of us to rethink how we can view ourselves and each other. Share this video, talk to someone you disagree with, because the only side we should be on is the side that stops the war. Thank you.